This hour of the CHEO Telethon is brought to you by Infinity Convention Center. This is the CHEO Telethon.
Well, welcome back. This hour, we're going to be taking a closer look at research being done at the CHEO Research Institute.
Dr. Jason Berman, CEO and Scientific Director at the CHEO Research Institute, joins us now live from CHEO. Doctor, this has been a challenging time. I gather that a lot of the research, if not all of it's kind of been put on pause until the pandemic, the first threat of it has passed. What kind of an impact has that had?
So I'm delighted to be here, and thanks for your question. The pandemic has certainly had an impact on much of our research. We have had to put lots of research on hold and pivot some of our research specifically to COVID-related research, while directing many of our resources at the Research Institute to developing innovative ways to ensure we have adequate personal protective equipment for our staff and to protect our patients.
I imagine as you took over as CEO of the Research Institute, you didn't expect you'd be doing it in the midst of a pandemic, but it's interesting that you have pivoted to that COVID research. Tell me about that. What are the research projects happening at CHEO that deal with COVID specifically?
Yeah, so we have a number of COVID-related projects. Some projects related to detection. So we have researchers that are looking at measuring COVID protein in the sewage water in our area. This may be really important for detecting the prevalence of the disease in certain areas, and this may be important for predicting a second wave that we're worried about in the fall. Also in the area of detection, we have researchers that are looking at how the disease might spread in homes from children to their parents, looking at antibody testing to look at the prevalence of disease spread in the homes. Other researchers are looking at symptoms. We know that children are affected differently by COVID-19. We've heard about this Kawasaki-like syndrome that children have, and so in our emergency room, we're looking at children and what symptoms they may have from COVID-19. We have researchers developing vaccines for COVID-19 using a unique platform with a different type of virus called reovirus, which is a safe virus to help develop the vaccine. And then we're also looking at the impact of COVID-19 on patients that have pre-existing mental health disorders and on pregnancy in terms of the transmission rates of COVID-19 to unborn babies.
And we had talked about this earlier and raised it. If you could just briefly, and we're going to come back to you and talk more about it, tell us about zebrafish and their link to studying cancer.
Yeah, so as well as being the CEO of the Research Institute, I'm a researcher myself. I'm a pediatric oncologist, and we use the zebrafish, which is the small tropical fish, to understand childhood cancer. Remarkably, these fish that you can buy in the pet shop for $2.50 are very similar genetically to humans. They have all the same blood cells as humans, all the same tissues as humans, and this allows us to study cancer in this unique model.
Wow, incredibly fascinating. Who would have thought? Thank you so much, Dr. Berman. We'll have you stand by and join us once again just a little bit later in the program.
But let's head back over to Leanne Cusack with another check presentation. Leanne.
We've all been so grateful to our retailers, to those who've taken care of us through this health crisis, like those in the hardware business. We have Bill Gauguin here from Lowe's. He's a VP with Lowe's, and you have a great executive task here presenting CHEO with a beautiful check. What have you done, Bill?
Well, listen, our company is thrilled to be partners with CHEO and the Children's Miracle Network, and our associates did a tremendous job getting behind the cause and coming up with fun ways to raise money with our customers, things like barbecues and dunk tanks and all kinds of fun things. We just can't give enough back to CHEO.
Well, we are all very grateful. We're also very excited. Let's read the check amount together. A check for $42,290. Thank you so much. We're heading back to the desk. $42,000 for CHEO.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
So nice. Wonderful. Yes. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you to Lowe's. We're going to go back over to Matt Scooby. Matt, I don't know if you knew that little tidbit about zebrafish being so similar to us, great for studying childhood cancer. in case it comes up in a photo of the day sometime.
Yes, I kind of put away those fun facts to be able to use at some point, but it certainly is. It's incredible the amount that you learn too. And don't forget too, another one for you, Graham and Patricia, is that over 73,000 patients and families were involved in research last year at CHEO. In fact, CHEO is using frozen DNA and cells from 40 years ago in their research right now. You can help with that. We want to get these people on the phones right now. Seamus is standing by. Dan's waving his sign up there. Anne is with us as well in our virtual phone bank. They're standing by for your call. 1-866-447-4442 is the number to call. We're standing by. We have another Miracle Match coming up here shortly. Graham and Patricia.
All right, thanks, Matt. CHEO researchers are good at recognizing an opportunity and applying evidence and knowledge to solve problems, improving the health and the quality of life for patients and staff.
Megan Shaw now on how COVID-19 has played a part in research at CHEO. Megan.
Thanks, Graham and Patricia. Joining me now is Dr. Dare McNally, a clinician scientist within the Department of Pediatrics. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Megan. Wonderful to be here.
Can you start by explaining your role at CHEO? I know you do so much there.
So my job at CHEO is I have two roles. I'm a clinician, and more specifically, I'm a pediatric intensivist. So I care for very unwell children in our ICU. And then my second role, which I spend about half my time at, is I'm a researcher or scientist at the CHEO RI, where I spend my time trying to answer questions to make the lives of children and family better.
And can you tell us about your team's work that you've done to carry out research that actually led to the discovery of N95 decontamination?
So one of our goals here at CHEO, beyond providing excellent care for children and their families, is to always keep our staff safe. And back in February, with the pandemic spreading into North America, we realized that there was a potential concern around the availability of PPE and a potential shortage. So with the goal of protecting our frontline workers, we embarked on a study to see if there was safety in decontaminating masks. So we were able to remobilize our research team and take advantage of a really engaged crowd or community of scientists. And we were able to pull them together and perform a very rigorous, comprehensive review of the literature called a systematic review, where we were able to review thousands of articles and ultimately perform a process that would normally take 6 months in a matter of 10 days. And in doing so, demonstrate that there were a couple of safe methods, including ultraviolet decontamination, that would allow us to lengthen our stores of PPE.
Wow, so many changes happening. And as well, when it comes to research, because of COVID-19, do you think that it will change the way that CHEO carries that research out?
Oh, I think you're absolutely right, Megan. And we've already seen some of those changes. It's hard to go into all of them, but we've seen groups really come together and work together on projects. Groups are already working together before, but even more so now. And it's demonstrated to us that by coming together and being adaptive and flexible, that we can accomplish things much more quickly.
Wow, so much important information here. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for joining us. Now back to the desk.
My pleasure.
All right, thank you, Megan. Well, the first choice for medical staff is always a new mask. To choose between a surgical mask or no mask, a decontaminated mask provides hospitals with one more option available to them.
It does. And let's check in again with Leanne Cusack, who's got more money coming into the CHEO Foundation.
This telethon is a perfect example of how our community builds something phenomenal brick by brick. An appropriate time to introduce Daisy Aurora from the Brick. Daisy, we often talk about CHEO Bear and how CHEO Bear wraps everyone in a beautiful hug, especially on this day. We have to give a lot of credit to the bears in front of you as well. Brickley Bear.
Yeah. Yes, so this is Brickley and Brickleya. They're our company mascot, which we collect donations for. In store, we sell them in store, and all the proceeds go to the Children's Miracle Network to help us raise funds.
Well, you have sold a lot of Brickley Bears. We would be so thrilled for you to share this incredible total with everyone watching. You have raised
$130,594 for the Children's Miracle Network for the Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario.
That is phenomenal. I want to reach through the screen and hug you and both Brickley and Brickley Bears. Thank you so very much. How do you feel about that total, everyone over at the desk?
Love it, love it. Thank you. Surrounded by bears, stuffed animals here, there, everywhere.
And lots of money. Amazing.
Lots of money. Well, the CHEO Research Institute is home to Care for Rare Canada, and they research more than 7,000 rare genetic diseases.
Let's go back to Megan Shaw, who's learning more about rare disease research.
Thanks so much, Graham and Patricia. Joining me now is Dr. Kim Boycott, who is a scientist at the CHEO Research Institute. Dr. Boycott, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for asking me.
CHEO's Research Institute, it's home to Care for Canada. Can you tell us about what that means and the research that the group at CHEO does, looking into so many rare genetic disorders?
Sure. So CHEO Research Institute is the home of Care for Rare Canada for the past 10 years, actually. So we actually started in 2010. And we run a national network that is dedicated to understanding the causes of the different rare diseases, the ones that are caused by changes in our genes, for families across Canada as well as internationally.
What would be the simplest way to explain what is a rare disease and why do they affect so many children?
Yeah, okay, it is a tricky question, but I'll see if I can give you a simple answer. So a rare disease, in its most simplest form, can be defined as the number of people it affects. So rare disease, by definition, affects fewer than 1 in 2,000 people. The challenge around rare disease is that there's probably almost 10,000 of them. So even though it may not affect, one disease may not affect very many people, there are so many, hence many individuals in Canada are affected.
And since there are thousands of them and they do affect about 1 million Canadians, how do you begin that work then to understand what might be going on with a child when they come to CHEO?
Right. So our group is interested in using the latest genomic technologies to sequence somebody's genome. So to sequence an individual's genome to understand what differences in our DNA may be causing that rare genetic disease.
Okay, and then talking about technology, how is technology changing? How might it continue to change? And how does that affect your work?
Well, it's been an amazing 10 years, actually. So at the very beginning of this 10 years ago, with the support of the CHEO Foundation, we began sequencing the genome of these children and their family members. And that was cutting edge at the time. And the technology has just continued to evolve and continue to give us new and different ways to try to diagnose these families when the initial sequencing, for example, doesn't give us a clear answer.
Is there anything that's maybe most exciting for you in those 10 years?
Well, actually, I would say the most exciting thing is I've been actually a practicing clinician at CHEO for 15 years. And so the most exciting thing for me is when we use one of our new technologies for one of the families that I've, followed for almost 10 years, and we finally sort it out and can give them an answer. And I've grown to know those families so well over 10 years, finally get to give them an answer, and it's incredibly satisfying.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for sharing that. So much good information. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Boycott. Let's go back to the desk.
All right, thank you, Megan. And Dr. Kim Boycott actually plays a big role in our next story that we want to share.
When a child is sick and doctors can't explain why the journey is difficult and lonely.
Well, for one Ottawa boy, his path to diagnosis took 10 years. His story is one of perseverance, a powerful support system, and believing in himself. At CHEO, the Care for Rare team is working to improve care for children like Eli.
I remember that.
So the DNA goes
in these tubes.
Eli Lincoln loves science. He said it helped him get the diagnosis he needed.
It's called benign hereditary chorea. BHC, I've had it since I was born.
When he was a child, Eli wasn't hitting milestones expected of most kids his age.
And that's when we started our CHEO journey, was with the neurologist.
The journey to finding out what was wrong took almost 8 years.
And after a number of testing where everything came back normal, that's when we were then referred to genetics.
And just press it down slowly. CHEO tested 20,000 of Eli's genes. He was then diagnosed with brain-lung thyroid syndrome, a rare disease that affects his motor skills, brain function, and ability to breathe well.
Having a name and knowing that all of these things are interconnected has also given him more confidence. Because before he was getting sick and he didn't really understand why.
How come there's little numbers right there?
It's this machine at CHEO that tested Eli's genes.
Having this new testing, this new technology that can actually look at our DNA in whole in one go provides a diagnosis just so much faster than we could do before.
But the results have to be sent away to get processed, which takes weeks. A new computer system would cut that wait time in half, but getting one is expensive and requires fundraising.
We couldn't do what we do without donor dollars.
And we have to try and figure out which one is causing the rare disease for that patient.
And without the technology and the research, the journey at CHEO would have been that much longer for children like Eli.
They always help me no matter what problem, no matter what happens, they always help me figure out what's going on.
And we are so fortunate to be joined now by Eli and his entire family live from their home. Hi, guys. And Eli, CHEO champion for this year. What does that mean to you?
It's a big leap from anything that I've done before.
A big job title, right?
Yeah.
So very cool. What does that mean to the whole family? Mom, Judy must be very proud of this guy.
We're really just so proud of him and his willingness to continue to share his story and to raise awareness for the importance for CHEO. And we were thinking this week of all the different departments that we've worked with at CHEO. And once you get that diagnosis, it makes such a huge difference. And it's opened up so many more opportunities for Eli to grow and learn about how to work within his rare disease and how to function.
I mean, we've heard that before from families who face a rare disease diagnosis, so few cases, so it makes it so tough to figure out exactly what is happening with that child. Obviously, the entire journey has been tough, but how much easier has it been when you have a diagnosis and you have an idea of what you're facing in that very long period of time that this went on?
Yeah, I think for our whole family, it's made such a difference because we can put a name to it. It also means that you then have access to the right specialists. So once we were able to get a diagnosis, we were able to start seeing a respirologist to help with the lung part of his condition, and we were able to see a neurologist that specialized in the movement. Additionally, we also found out my husband has the same rare disease, and he then was able to access the same medical care through CHEO's research and their ability to help the entire family.
So let me ask Eli's dad, what did that mean for you to have that connection and almost get help through your son?
Well, it's personally quite significant. Frankly, I spent no time thinking about the fact that I had a disability and realizing that I do, realizing that that it has a significant impact on me and my family and people who love us has been a game changer for me, quite honestly.
Now, we're talking a lot about research this hour. Obviously, some of those diseases, syndromes that are very well known, a lot of dollars get thrown at them. It's sometimes tougher with the rare diseases. There's a lot of action on that at CHEO. I want to ask, I guess, both of you, Judy, what does that research mean to you? I'll get to that in just a second. But Eli, first of all, why are you so excited about research? You seem like you're a scientist in the making right now. Why do you think it's so interesting?
Because without it, I wouldn't have a name to my disability, which is, because as soon as I got my disability, I figured out what technology was used to help me get the name to my disability. So it was a real change in my life.
Judy, dollars going into research, so important.
It's so important, and it makes such a difference once you actually have a name, because then you can learn more about what goes into every aspect of it. And having a name to it too also means you can advocate better in the school system. It means you can say all of these little things are actually all interconnected and they're all part of this rare disease. And being able to do research into it allows us to educate others and to share the story and to help everyone realize that there's more to it than sort of one aspect. And so the research, getting the name is the first step, and then learning what's next is the next step. And that's where the research also comes in. We wouldn't be able to sort of live as full of a life, allow Eli to do as many things if we hadn't gone through all of that.
Thank you to our CHEO champion, Eli, Judy, the entire family, for sharing your story today. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you to everyone supporting CHEO.
Thank you for supporting CHEO through your donations. Bye.
Beautifully done. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. The brother was very well behaved there. It was a little edgy there for a bit.
That was a
well
long time
done.
to sit.
Eli's a bit of an introvert, huh?
Yes, yeah, really have to draw him out.
Great
Yeah,
to see
just like Leslie and Matt coming
Yeah,
up with
that's
them
right.
in just a minute.
We've got our miracle match.
This Miracle Match is sponsored by Arnon.
All right, back over to introvert number one, Leslie Roberts. Leslie.
Eli has set the bar pretty high. I'm going
Yes,
to do my
yeah.
best here. Arnon Corporation, one of the most successful property developers and landlords in the region, a long-standing supporter of CHEO. As we get set to match your donations, we want to pay tribute to the late Arnie Viret. His love of legacy of kids is unbelievable, lives on through the community leadership of the Viret family. We want to welcome Liz Viret. Thanks for this Miracle Match sponsorship. What is your message, Liz, as the folks are watching this afternoon?
That CHEO is one of the most important institutions in our community, and you know, for anybody that has kids or has nephews or nieces or family, that this is where we go if we need help. And you know, our community dollars are most important to keep it going. And there's no reason in our community that we can't have a top-notch facility, and we need people's donations to make it happen.
Well, your family business known for building a community. You're doing so today with your Miracle Match. We thank you very much. So, folks, let's build this community even stronger by your donation. Miracle Match. Matt, what do the folks got to do?
Get on the phone right now. Leslie Roberts, the number to call, 1-866-447-4442. Let's start the clock for 3 minutes because we are going to double that donation and double your impact of your generosity. You know who these people are. They're the virtual phone bank. There's a few of them out there. Eric, Emily are waiting for your call. A few of them, the phones are starting to ring, which is great news. Be a hero for CHEO. You'll notice the purple capes too out there, right, Leslie? The purple capes are being a hero for CHEO. You can do that by calling the number on your screen right now.
I'm just looking. She was having the flags there going on. That's a bit of a workout. Let's get the workout in terms of the brain. The more money we get, the more we can actually help the kids, the researchers, the incredible medical staff at CHEO. How do you do it? Very easily. There's the phone number on your screen, 1-866-447-4442. And this is the Miracle Match, Matt, which means we will double, thanks to Arnon and Company.
Yes, we will.
We can double their donation.
We're going to double it up to $3,500 over the next 2 minutes and change. So be sure to call the number right now. We have a message from the Robinson sisters. Girls, what are we waiting for? What are we asking people to do?
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. So here's the number. So call us maybe.
That's Carly Rae Jepsen, right? Absolutely. Call me maybe. That's a great message too for us. Thank you so much. At this point, call the number on your screen, 1-866-447-4442. Leslie, not sure about you. Pretty sure Eli might be involved at some point in CHEO in the research capacity or in some capacity at some point down the road.
And he is living proof, their family is, in terms of the amount of work that can be done, not only to help the kids, but in the case of their family as well, their dad. It was thanks to the research at CHEO that you helped fund that really changed the lives of that 2 generations of that family. There's no maybe when it comes to calling right now. We want you to pick up the phone and help other families as well.
Arnon sponsoring this $3,500 Miracle Match. We have about 1 minute and 15 seconds left now. Call the number on your screen to help out families like Eli. Logan is also helping us out. Logan, how much time do we have left?
Easy, what's that you're saying? Only 1 minute left to call? Easy wants you to pick up that phone and call to donate.
Thank you so much, Logan. Hey, we talked about the dogs are involved today with today's CHEO Telethon.
I'm just blown away by how comfortable these kids are on camera.
Right.
It used to be hard work.
I'm a little bit. Should we be concerned about this too a little bit?
Oh, we'll talk about that later. I think you're one of them, to be honest with you. 1-866-447-4442. Seriously, this is your chance to not only make a donation, feel better about helping the community, but double your money. We got about 27 seconds left, so log in and then you can connect and we will make these people busier.
This is what we like to see. Everyone
Yes.
is on the phone right now, taking calls, taking your donations. We're doubling it. If you give $50, you will get $100 for CHEO. Oh,
We
someone
got
just
two.
hung up. There's a couple people on the line here that have taken
Three.
donations, are waiting for more. Get in. You have 10 seconds left to double your donation. We want to thank Arnon for sponsoring this miracle match, $3,500. We really appreciate this. We have lots more coming up. Graham and Patricia.
Great stuff. Another miracle match. Wonderful
Yes.
to see. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Now we're going back to Leanne Cusack with another check presentation.
There is a whole lot of talent in a very beautiful pocket between Pakenham and Elmont called Cedar Hill, where everyone's got talent. We're joined now by Holly and Lily Apostolic to tell us about a great fundraiser for CHEO. What did you do, Holly?
Well, last year, our big finale event was Cedar Hill's Got Talent. It was the second year we've done it. And the mostly just the children from the community and their friends put on a spectacular talent show, dancing, singing, playing guitar, telling jokes. And I think they've got an even bigger theme planned for this year. What is it, Lily?
Magic and miracles.
Whoa, magic and miracles. That ties in beautifully to CHEO. And Lily, I heard you were singing a song at the last talent show. What was it called?
It's called True Colors.
One of our favorites, and you are showing your true colors of generosity. We want to thank you so very much. Over the past 19 years, I know that Cedar Hill has raised about $54,000 for the Children's Hospital, and this year you have a check for how much? More than $3,500. Thank you guys so much. Say hi to all of my friends in Cedar Hill. Good looking check, woohoo! Back to the desk, fantastic.
So awesome. Drive by there all the time. Nice to know what's happening inside. Well, we are joined once again by Dr. Berman, the head of the Research Institute at CHEO.
Dr. Berman, you wanted to ask you about what you want donors to know about where their dollars go and about research and the role it plays at CHEO.
Yeah, so as you've heard from those last couple of segments, donor dollars are critical for research at CHEO. They support our programs, they support pilot grants for new innovative ideas, they support students and trainees who are the researchers of the future, and they support special projects like a COVID-19 grant competition we just completed.
Now, you're also a pediatric oncologist, lots of different hats that you wear. How do you balance it all? Because I think we picture researchers just being hidden away in the lab, but there's a lot going on. How do you balance this all and make it work in your new role?
Yeah, so I spend most of my time being a research administrator, but I think I'm a better research administrator by being a researcher myself. And I think I'm a better researcher by also being a clinician looking after sick patients. Many of my ideas for research in my own lab come from the patients. We bring those things to the lab. We work on those projects to find better treatments for children with cancer and rare genetic disorders, and then bring those treatments back to the clinic.
With so much of the world now focused on, for instance, a vaccine for COVID-19, what is the best part of the work you do? Is it the discovery, the work towards the discovery, or actually implementing something big that helps people?
Well, I think what we've been able to see with COVID-19, while we've had a lot of research programs on hold, is we've been able to see the importance of research to help solve a major health problem. This has really been accelerated in the COVID environment, where we're looking at vaccine development making a big impact for how COVID is treated and prevented and how we look at COVID over the next several months. And so I think that's a really important message. It's important for people to see how the research of today are the cures of tomorrow. And just like we're seeing all this tremendous advancement in research for COVID, that type of research needs to happen in all sorts of other areas, in cancer, in inflammatory disorders, in other infectious diseases, in our newborns. All of those areas are really important, and that research needs to continue.
And Dr. Berman, you heard our previous guest, Eli, and his family, and him talking about learning through what he's gone through, just how important and exciting research is and what it can deliver. It must be kind of a nice side benefit in this role at CHEO that you get to see the younger generation opening their eyes to the advantages of research.
Yeah, so Eli is clearly a remarkable young man and has tremendous potential. I hope we can hire him here in a few years. That would be great. But really one of my passions is the mentoring of new scientists, new physicians, people that are interested in research, seeing their eyes open at the opportunities of how they can make an impact. It's really incredibly rewarding, and I know that at CHEO, the future is in really good hands.
Well said. Thanks so much for joining us for this segment. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, Dr. McNally touched on the research for masks for frontline workers.
We've now recruited Tammy Giovanni, Director of Ambulatory Care at CHEO, to take us behind the scenes at the hospital.
Here she is with staff putting together shields for frontline workers.
We're here at the Research Institute in a conference room that would normally have lots of researchers talking about problems, but there's something a bit different going on. So I'm with Rhonda. Tell us what's happening here.
Sure. So back in March, when we started hearing things about there being a shortage of PPE and people were a bit worried about that, they tasked the Research Institute to jump on board and think about innovative ways that we could do PPE. And one of them came from our strong support from the community. So we're lucky that in Ottawa we have hundreds of people that have 3D printers, and they are able to print these very cool headpieces for face shields. So quite literally we've had thousands and thousands of these printed off and donated to CHEO. They get sterilized, they come up here, and from this we turn into a face shield by adding a piece of elastic and a visor that we make here as well. These go to the frontline workers, and they're able to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, we've seen them everywhere we go in CHEO. We see bundles of this PPE, so it's fantastic that you guys are contributing in that way. And not the traditional research that's going on, so how have you pivoted to help out in this time?
Absolutely. So as soon as COVID hit, we slowed down all research in the Research Institute and are doing just essential research and COVID research. But recognizing that there was a real need to think outside the box, that's what our specialty is. So on top of the face shields, we worked on 2 other projects. We looked at the N95 masks and the ability to sterilize and reuse them as our third phase to look at community sewn masks, because that has really become a big thing in the news lately. And moving towards that, we've had thousands and thousands of masks donated, and they're going out to families as they're discharged from the hospital as we speak.
PPE critical everywhere, particularly for kids.
Absolutely.
Hospitals.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard the word pivot so often since way back when in the days on the basketball court, but it's amazing what they're able to do with the 3D printers now. And
incredible.
Filling that need. Yeah, really amazing. Well, time to go back now to Leanne Cusack, another Czech presentation. Leanne.
If I had a cowbell, I would be ringing it right now to celebrate Cowbell Brewing Company. We have Grant Sparling joining us from the brewery. You have done something very phenomenal for children's hospitals. Grant, please tell us about it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. From the outset at Cowbell, we wish to embed giving into the DNA of the business, and it was something that began with my grandparents. They moved to Blythe after World War II. Now I'm the 3rd generation to live and work here, and we wanted to honor their legacy by giving back in a meaningful way. So from the first can of beer that we sold in May of 2016, we've donated 5 cents from every can and pint sold to the 4 children's hospitals in Ontario, including CHEO.
We are so incredibly grateful, Grant, and I know a lot of people will want to raise a pint to you to say thank you for $10,137 in donations to our children's hospital. Ringing the cowbell virtually again. Thank you so, so much. We're going to the desk.
We're ringing our bells.
Ringing the cowbell, yeah.
Thank you so much, Leanne.
Let's head back to CHEO, where we have another patient standing by.
Hello, this is our patient Ben and his father Dan. Ben is 11 years old, and we're going to talk to him today a little bit about CHEO. What do you think is the best part about CHEO so far? The food. The food. You like the food. How about you, Dad? What do you think about your experience?
No, I think the staff has been great. They've been in here checking on him and taking very good care of him, making sure everything's going well with him, and when it hasn't, they've been right on top of it.
And that's always good to have the good food. And the rumor is that the mashed potatoes are the best there.
You haven't confirmed it?
I have not. Just sources say.
Sources say. All right, we're going to go back now to Leanne Cusack. Leanne.
During this health crisis, Hydro Ottawa has been energizing our community to an incredible degree. We're joined now by Julie Lupinacci, who is about to tell us how Hydro Ottawa is giving to CHEO and the environment at the same time. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Leanne. Thanks so much for having us. Hydro Ottawa has been a big fan of CHEO and a big partner of the CHEO Telethon specifically. And like all of our employees, we like to give where we live, and CHEO is a really big partner through that. So we have a campaign that we've been running for the last 5 years, and it's raised significant money for CHEO, and I'm proud to say last year was no different.
Well, we know how hard you have all been working during this pandemic and all of the adjustments you have been making, all the while generating this incredible check for CHEO. Read the title, Julie, or the total, I should say. You deserve the title.
So proud to say that we've raised $70,865 for CHEO this year.
Okay, our studio is really powered up. We want to thank you so very much. And with that gorgeous total, we'll head back to the desk.
All right, lovely total. Thank you so much, Leanne. And we're going to head back now to Tammy Giovanni, excuse me.
She's once again behind the scenes.
We're here on inpatient medicine, and we're lucky enough to meet Charlie and his lovely mom, Faith, who's been through a lot in the last couple of months. So Charlie started off in neonates, I understand.
Yeah.
And how long was he there?
8 days.
8 days. And then you moved upstairs, moving on up?
Yeah.
So now we're on 5th floor.
Yeah, we've been here for about 2 weeks.
Okay. And so how has it been here? It's been a roller coaster ride for you, I bet.
It's been interesting, especially with all the restrictions because of COVID. It's not as, you can't have all your family come in, and you're limited to one person at a time. But with FaceTime and stuff, we made it work.
That's amazing. And so how have you stayed connected? You talked about FaceTime. I heard your mom participated in rounds the other day.
Yeah, we FaceTime all day, pretty well every day, during rounds, every doctor's appointment, constantly.
I'm just going to reach over and quieten this because Charlie just has a few things to say to us here. He's kicking around. And you have quite a history with hospitals and neonates.
Yeah, I was a NICU baby myself.
Oh, that's quite a story. And I hear one of the quilts here was actually your quilt when you were in his size.
Yeah, that one is Charlie's, and this one was mine 20 years ago.
That's a pretty special memory.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will be on your crib at home soon.
Yes.
Playing it day by day?
Yeah,
day
by day.
When do you hope to be discharged?
Hopefully in a few weeks.
Nice. So lots of learning. Kudos to you for keeping it all together.
Thank you.
And best of luck to Charlie. So nice to meet him.
Yes, best of luck to Charlie. Thank you, Tammy. Time now for another Miracle Match.
This Miracle Match is sponsored by Pure Kitchen.
Let's head back over to Leslie Roberts. Leslie.
All right, thank you guys. Pure Kitchen, of course, 4 locations in our city. Unique menu of plant-based options, cold press organic juice, smoothies, and Ontario craft beer and wine. Their Pay It Forward initiative was created to support frontline workers at CHEO and the Ottawa Food Bank. Listen to this. The past 2 weeks, Pure Kitchen has delivered food to both the COVID Assessment Centre and the Madonna Long-Term Care Centre, where CHEO staff have been helping out. Right now, they are supporting the CHEO Telethon. Joining us is Dave Leaf. What does giving back mean to Pure Kitchen?
Well, I mean, we're lucky enough to have been able to stay open in a takeout and delivery capacity and keep some of our staff on. So we're just happy to support all the people out there on the front lines that are, sacrificing every day and putting themselves at risk as well and helping the community. I mean, it just seems like a natural thing to do in this time.
Dave, for the people who are watching, as we're trying to, of course, raise money for the CHEO Telethon, you guys have graciously miracle matched this next 3 minutes. What's your message for the people watching?
Well, I think it's times like this where, charity sometimes gets forgotten, and there's a lot of great things being done at CHEO, and it's a huge part of our community. And I think people should dig deep and do whatever they can, whether it's $5 or $100, whatever you can afford. I think it's such a great facility and part of our part of our fabric of this town. So I think you really need support at this time, especially.
And we thank you and the folks at Pure Kitchen, of course, for giving back on this Miracle Match. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's find out.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Cheers. People at home, this is how you can double the donation. Matt.
We hear Miracle Match. I love to see that the phones start ringing. Let's get them going. Start that clock on this $3,000 Miracle Match from Pure Kitchen. The number to call 1-866-447-4442. We want to keep these people as busy as possible for the next 3 minutes. Tara is out there answering calls, waiting for a call. Natalie is waiting for a call.
Poor Dan.
Dan is up there waving his flag, which is great, but we want to get these phones ringing. Call the number on your screen. In case you missed it earlier, just want to mention this, Leslie, too.
Yep.
For a Miracle Match, we're going to double your donation up to $3,000 for the next 2.5 minutes. So if you give $25 right now, that's going to mean a $50 donation to CHEO. If you give $100, it's going to mean a $200 donation to CHEO. This is the time to call to have the greatest impact of your dollars. Leslie, it's been fantastic, and thanks to Pure Kitchen for sponsoring this one.
Yeah, and we're just, of course, still gathering as much funds as we can over the next couple of hours, so this is your chance. Operators are standing by. I've always wanted to say that. Operators are standing by, and that's not all. Right. You can double your donation.
We also have a Caldwell sister standing by. How much time do we have left?
Pick up that phone. There are only 2 minutes left in that Miracle Match. Double your gift by calling the number on your screen.
Certainly the case. That number, 1-866-447-4442. This is what we like to see, too. Almost everyone is on the phone right now, but we still have a couple people still to go, so be sure to give us a call right now. Now, CHEO, don't forget, too, is a teaching hospital, right? Over 2,300 future pediatricians, nurses, other health professionals are being trained there. We're talking about research. The amount of work that happens at the hospital and in the institution is remarkable.
It's one of the most important institutions in our community, of course, and we are so blessed. Let's not take that for granted, that CHEO is in our own community, and they're there to answer your call. Now they want you to answer theirs. How do you do it? 1-866-447-4442, and this is the Miracle Match, which means you can double your donation in the next minute or so.
Minute and a little bit. Be sure to give us a call right now. Isel, how much time do we have left?
Yeah.
1 minute left. Pick up your phone and donate, please.
I want props like that.
No kidding.
I want to see you come out of one of the houses
here. It doesn't matter what kind of phone it is either. We talked about, a lot of people with the smartphone, iPhone, Android. It can still be a home phone.
Yeah.
A lot of people still have those. A rotary phone if you have one.
You don't even remember what a rotary phone is.
I remember a rotary phone. Had them at the cottage.
There you go.
You know what? You still have enough time to dial, even if it's with a rotary phone. 1-866-447-4442. I want to thank Pure Kitchen for sponsoring this Miracle Match right now.
The technology has advanced, of course, since the rotary phone.
Very true.
So has the research, thanks to your donations over the years. Again, 37 years, the CHEO Telethon. Ottawa connected to CHEO, CHEO connected to CTV Ottawa, and we're connected to you. And now's your chance to say thank you, CHEO, for all the hard work that you're doing by doubling your donation with about 10 seconds left here. Call the number on your screen.
No donation is too small at this point. Don't forget that. Anything that you can give, we know people are struggling at different points, but anything you can give us a call. We appreciate that. And again, one more thank you to Pure Kitchen for
this just in, Matt. This month just in. I have some good news to tell you. This is great. More money to come in.
What do we have?
We've just received a $10,000 donation from Asuna Muslims Association. They run the Mosque of Mercy and the AMA Community Center. Thank you so much. They have been donors since 2013. The mission is to create a welcoming community for all through education, community engagement, awareness, and the promotion of diversity and equity. The Mosque of Mercy promotes spiritual development, whereas the center invests resources where they're needed. We're talking about the youth. We're talking about isolated seniors and women, building local communities and neighborhoods together. Thank you for your $10,000 donation. Back to the desk.
Incredibly generous. Wonderful to see that.
Absolutely
Fantastic.
amazing. Yes, and more good news for Matt, too. We get to talk a little bit more about Christmas now. Here's Leanne Cusack.
Well, it is about to feel like Christmas in June. We have joining us a very familiar face, both to telethons and to the Valley, Wayne Rostad, to discuss a 40-year legacy gift with CHEO, and it's a song, Wayne.
It is a song indeed. Thank you, Leanne. How are you?
Doing really well. What a great telethon we have going here, and you're about to add to it. Tell us a bit about what you've done with Christmas in the Valley.
Well, Christmas in the Valley, the tour, which we've done with a wonderful troupe of entertainers. We did a 5-city tour in December past and raised more money for CHEO. I have 3 envelopes here, and these 3 envelopes One is for the actual concert itself of $9,050. I've got also for CD sales, $5 for each CD sold, and that's another $1,005.
Wow.
And young Michael Wyman, who is Braden Turner's son, 7 years young, and he was given some money at CHEO for his performance on our stage doing his step dancing, and it was $120. And then Michael looked up at me and he said, "I want to give this to CHEO."
Oh, how beautiful. He's such a lovely guy. So I'm only doing the math very quickly. I think that's about $10,180, and we would like to say a huge thanks on behalf of the hospital. Just last word to you, sing us out before we go to the desk.
It's Christmas in the Valley. Here's to CHEO. Donate, people, donate.
That's a Merry Christmas in the Valley. Thank you. To the desk.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Great to see you, Wayne. Thanks. Well, childhood for a Pembroke girl has been anything but carefree. The 10-year-old has been in and out of hospital for much of her life, diagnosed with a rare disease affecting 1 in 10 million. But as you'll see, she's 1 in a million.
A puzzle, a game, problem, or toy that tests a person's ingenuity or knowledge, most often solved by trial and error. For rare disease, finding a cure is often the same.
And feet together.
This is Abigail, standing tall and having a good day. This is her normal, coming to CHEO for the past 8 years.
She's come a long way and she's fought to get there.
From a healthy little toddler to suddenly losing her ability to walk or talk. At just 20 months old, she was diagnosed with neuroblastoma and associated opsoclonus myoclonus ataxia syndrome, or OMS.
It's been hard. No parent should have to hear those words.
At just age 4, Abigail would undergo a life-threatening bone marrow transplant, needing chemo for years.
This is something that you can't protect your kid from. It's there and it's in their body and it's more aggressive than you could imagine.
But Mama, I understand.
I do. Something Abigail now understands but doesn't talk about.
She understands it quite well, and if brought up in conversation, she will tell you that it does not exist because she has overcome so much.
To keep Abigail from relapsing, nurses teaching Mom how to give treatments at home.
So there are very tiny needles that I would put into fatty tissue in her body, and that is just to help her immune system stop fighting, stop attacking areas of her brain.
One piece of the puzzle falling into place, but still a diagnosis of disease, so rare it only affects 1 in 10 million people a year.
At diagnosis, unfortunately, even the doctors didn't have this information. I got 1-page leaflet.
Can you lie down so we can feel your tummy?
She definitely is still a medical puzzle.
My hands are freezing. Are you ready? Is it?
No.
Because there's no cure, we still get treated for it, and we're still trying to discover as we go what treatments have been working. So every time she relapses, we'll go back to square one.
But thanks to donors supporting CHEO,
so basically,
oncology research and targeted therapy is able to evolve.
If you have a targeted therapy, it means it just goes to the tumor or the type of cancer, and you're not getting that whole body effect and late effects.
Wonderful.
So that's really the way that we need to work more on.
You think they can? It did not affect her entire system. It didn't make her lose her hair. It didn't make her sick and ill the way that the traditional chemos do, and that's because of the research that they did. They could find that this targeted chemo could help that immune system issue that she had.
Yeah, I have.
And although the trips to CHEO are less frequent now,
at one point we had spent more time here in her life than we hadn't.
You can color one of those, maybe?
The doctors, nurses,
these are our colors.
And of course Molly Penny.
Oh, do you have M&Ms?
Have become family.
Yes. Nobody could get through to her. Molly walks in the door at 6 p.m. and there's Abigail's face lit up.
7 days.
With no cure yet, donor dollars are encouraged.
Research is very important in cases like Abigail's where there's nobody else looking into it.
Abigail and her family will continue the tough battle.
We make it day to day, sometimes hour to hour.
With the one piece of the puzzle that will surely fit.
CHEO is home, that's for sure. It has been home for so long. They all love Abigail and they wave to her and it makes her feel at home. I don't know.
So rare to be one in millions, to not have answers to your questions with a child that is clearly in serious trouble. But there is hope, as you saw there, from Abigail and from her family. And they join us now. Abigail and Mom Crystal and the whole crew is there. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks so much for joining us. What a great story. And as a parent, Crystal, it must have, for you and your husband, it must be so frustrating in those early days to just go to a place like CHEO with all the expertise and not get an answer. How challenging was that time to not have an answer and to know that what she was facing was so rare?
The days were very long, and actually we didn't know that it was going to be this rare in the beginning. We were just there looking for immediate answers, and they quickly got us those answers, though.
What have it's not all negative, right? Like, what have the positive things been about this experience? What do you take from this as a family? Because obviously this is a huge part of your history as a family now.
Yeah, 8 years in the making. It is our history now. And we do have silver linings. We take every day as it comes, and nothing is taken for granted. And during these COVID times, not much in our life has changed.
Lots of people can relate, right? Now,
That's right.
in a different way. How's Abigail doing?
Look at the camera.
That's okay. She's just like most kids. I'd rather not speak on live television. You can. What goes through your mind as parents when you see her story and her history laid out as it was just now?
Even 8 years later, and watching those clips from the 2013 telethon, it still brings a lump to my throat because no parent should need to see that. No parent should have to hear those words or hold their daughter down during such things. But we've had amazing hands hold us through it and carry us through it, and for that we're very grateful.
You've got a very practical Valley outlook. I can hear it in your voice. And you just kind of got to roll with it and move on. I wanted to ask you, though, were there times, like, you can never give up as a parent, right? You just can't give up. But
there is no giving up.
There's no giving up, but there must have been very difficult times. And what was that like to be at CHEO for those times?
During the darkest of days, we've had many friends and family and our entire community that have supported us since day one, and they have never stopped. And when it comes to our CHEO family, we have Child Life, we have Dr. Johnston, all of the oncology family, and Abby's favorite,
Molly.
Molly Penny.
Molly Penny.
Everybody
and those
knows
brought us
Molly.
through every dark day.
It's wonderful to see you all. Thanks so much. And even if you don't want to talk, do we get a big family wave from everybody?
Say hi.
There we go. That's just awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Looking so good. How about those outfits?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
They're setting the fashion standard here for the telethon. Great to hear from them.
We're going to go to our next Miracle Match.
This Miracle Match is sponsored by Remax.
Leslie Roberts, you look good too. I like what you're wearing. So
I'm
excited for the
exhausted.
guys
I
today.
can't imagine having that household. I'm exhausted from watching it. The good news is you can make a difference to make those families healthier. Home is more than a house on a street, of course. Home is heart. It's the community that surrounds you and supports you. That's why Remax, proud to celebrate their partnership. They're actually marking 28 years of helping to make miracles here. They are signing up for the Miracle Home program. How does it work? Well, Remax agents contribute a portion of their commissions to CHEO. Each donation helps fund pediatric medical equipment, treatments, and even other healthcare services. Thank you, RE/MAX, for matching donations for the next 3 minutes. Let's get those phones ringing, Matt Scooby.
Yes, absolutely. It's let's start the clock, shall we? 3 minutes in. This is a $3,000 miracle match, so be sure to give us a call right now, 1-866-447-4442. It's so vital. It's all about home, and CHEO is a home away from home. It becomes home for so many families that need to travel here. We've talked a little bit about that through. We're almost at the halfway mark of this telethon, if you can believe it, but we're talking about this. Thank you to RE/MAX. Let's get these phones ringing. They're starting to ring right now.
Couple here.
We have a few people. We have, who else? We have Tara out there who's waiting for a phone call. There's a few others that we need to get these phone ringing as soon as possible.
There are so many inspiring stories that we're hearing today, of course, and all of those stories have really hope and great outcomes. And you know why that is? Because of the incredible work at CHEO. And I can't do the incredible work at CHEO without you. And you want to double your donation, you can do so right now. 1-866-447-4442 is the number to call. And you can help make a difference and double your donation at the same time.
Cameron, how much time do we have left?
Hi, I'm Cameron. Call now because there's only 2 minutes left to donate. Thank you.
Thank you, Cameron, for being involved. We appreciate it. The message is very simple from the kids, isn't it? They're counting down how much time you can have a huge impact for the kids, for the patients, for the staff at CHEO. Just a quick reminder, just a quick refresher, because in case people are just joining us, here's how it works. We're doubling your donation up to $3,000. Thanks to everyone at RE/MAX. If you give $25 in the next minute and 30 seconds, we're going to make it $50. Not we are. RE/MAX is going to do that. $250 donation will turn into $500. Leslie Roberts, you never know who's going to call on the phones. Want to let everyone know, Ottawa Senator Brady Tkachuk called in $3,000 donation not too long ago. So thanks, Brady. We know everyone can't be that generous, but how about that? You never know who's going to be calling in.
The rest of the players can be.
They sure can be. There's the call out.
If you're an Ottawa Senator, Brady wants to hear from you as we do as well.
We have another Caldwell sister. How much time do we have left?
There's only 1 minute left in this miracle match. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Call the number on your screen. Don't wait.
Keep them busy.
That's exactly it. Don't wait to call. We're going to have a few more miracle matches. We're here for 3 more hours, but if you're watching right now, now is the time to call. 1-866-447-4442.
There is so much involved in terms of running a hospital like CHEO, an incredible institution. A lot more than just the ER experience that many of you have had. There are researchers, there are doctors, and right now in a pandemic, it's even harder on a couple of accounts. A, to do their jobs day to day, but also in terms of being able to raise some money. About 150 normally known as fundraising events have been canceled or postponed. So this is what they're counting on today. And you can double your money if you call right now. What's the number, Matt?
1-866-447-4442. We're going to be saying that number in our sleep. Hopefully you're going to be seeing it. Type it into your phone right now. You have 10 seconds to call us. Get in. Double that donation. We want to thank RE/MAX for sponsoring this miracle match. The phones are busy. They can be busier, though. Get in there. Back to the desk.
All right. How would you like to be answering the phones and you hear, hey, this is Brady Tkachuk calling?
Yeah.
Pretty good to take that call today.
Great reason to call, and many others to call. We wanted to head back to Leanne Cusack, who has another check for us. Leanne.
Over the past couple of months, we've all been so grateful to those working in grocery stores and keeping us fed and looked after. Jeff Brierly is the general manager of the College Square Loblaws store, and you've had a phenomenal campaign there, Jeff. Please tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's a 2-week campaign that we run at the stores, and it's Give a Little, Help a Lot, and it's basically where we ask the community to donate at the cash, and where they've absolutely answered the bell every single time. But at the same time, inside the store, we do various events to kind of drive the competition in the store, have little friendly competitions with our cashiers. We do barbecues where all of the proceeds, of course, go to the event. We do raffles, we do bake sales, anything we can do to kind of drive the total numbers up.
And Loblaws stores in our community and in the Kingston area, we want to thank you so much because people, it may say give a little, help a lot, but people gave a lot. Should I read the total, Jeff?
Yes, please do.
$66,348.37. Thank you so much. We know it's been a tiring time, and we are, as I said earlier, so grateful. We're heading back to the desk.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I love the, whether it's LCBO, Costco, Loblaws, all that point of purchase that Kevin Cohen was talking about is so important, particularly at this time, right?
Translates so beautifully into dollars. And we are joined once again by Dr. Jason Berman, who's been with us throughout the hour. Dr. Berman, we touched very briefly on your own personal research earlier, but it's fascinating. Zebrafish, who would have thought? Just again, what you think you might learn from zebrafish when it comes to cancer.
Yeah, so we have this unique research program, really the only one in the country, where we study cancer using zebrafish, which are these small tropical fish about the size of minnows. And one of the tremendous things we're able to do is take human cancer cells from patients, so from our children at CHEO who have cancer, transplant them into the zebrafish, and then test drugs to see their response. And because these zebrafish are transparent, we're able to see what happens to those cells. We actually label them with a fluorescent protein, so they glow in the dark, and we're able to see how those cancer cells respond to drugs that we just add to the water.
How long would a research project like that go on?
So what's amazing about these studies is that we're able to see responses to those transplanted cancer cells in the matter of a week to 2 weeks, which is a really short time period, and a short enough time period for some of those responses to potentially help inform what treatments might be best for that patient. Now, we're not doing that in real time yet, but we are doing that as part of a large national project called Profile, where we're looking at children across the country who have hard-to-treat cancers. They've already received chemotherapy, in some cases radiotherapy, and their disease has come back. They're looking for new options, and as part of this Profile project, we're genetically profiling their tumor, looking for mutations, and then taking pieces of their tumor, putting them in zebrafish, but also in mice, in other labs, and looking at responses to treatment. And this is bringing hope for families where there was previously no hope.
Amazing. And talk about getting things done in a short time period. We're 3 hours in. It's time for us to take another look at how many dollars have been raised. There's our tote board.
We are up above $2.5 million, $2,525,000. An amazing start. Nearly halfway through this telethon. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you, everyone in the community. Thank you to Dr. Berman for joining us for this. And just quickly, if you want to shout out your thanks to the community.
Yes, I want to shout out my thanks to the community. As I mentioned in the earlier segment, research is not possible without donor dollars. We're very indebted to our generous donors, personal donations, corporate donations. All of that support is really important for our research programs. And the research that we're undertaking today is going to make a huge difference in the lives of CHEO patients and their families in the future. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Dr. Berman. Lots more to come on the program, including a message from a fan favorite Ottawa senator.